Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another historical humans heritage. And on today's episode, we are looking at one of the newer UNESCO World Heritage sites. One I believe was inscribed earlier this year, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
But
it's 2024 inscription date.
it is one of the more interesting ones because the site itself is the emergence of modern human behavior. And this is a series of Pleistocene occupation sites. So, roughly about 150,000, 160,000 years ago. And one of the things that I think is very interesting here is you start to see, like they say, the emergence of modern human behavior. But there's certain things that humans have done and have always done and continue to do, and it's just really fascinating. And this UNESCO heritage site is the combination of three separate sites: Deep Kloof Rock Shelter, Pinnacle Point Site Complex, and Sibhudu Cave, which is throughout South Africa, the nation, and also, I guess, the physical geographic location as well. But
Yeah, yeah. The country is named for its geography. Welcome to Creativity Among Humanity 101.
you mean the town that has Cape Town as one of their biggest cities?
Yep,
But one of the cool things about these sites that show is cave paintings, artwork. And that is one of the things that's very traditionally modern human. And it's something that we see across every culture, every society in some degree. Humans have always had this innate desire to create artwork. But the interesting thing is, it's fairly unique to modern humans. I mean, some other more modern hominid species like Neanderthal have had some artwork associated with them, but modern Homo sapiens sapiens, we just love drawing shit on walls.
yep, yeah. We love decoration, and in a lot of forms. And one of the earliest is the cave paintings, which are a what makes up a lot of these sites. But one of the things that I think helps make these three sites unique and valuable is they're not just cave paintings. They come with a variety of other artistic expressions, such as decorative beads, and most importantly to me, the invention of Fabergé.
Oh
That's
no.
right, they had decorated eggshells. South Africa invented the Fabergé egg, or at the very least, Easter.
Yeah, engraved ostrich shell fragments found from the Frank layer dated between about 80,000 and 70,000 years ago.
Yeah,
And it's very simple. It's straight lines, it's dashed, but it's done in a very decorative format. And one of the big things that we do talk about with artwork, generally speaking, is the fact that we don't always know the purpose. We can't always ascertain the pretty much any aspect of it. We talk about how certain things may have symbology, like the animals on the wall. Are they kills that they had? Is it just a pretty scene that they had witnessed? Is it trophy kills? We really don't know the answer to that. And there were also human figures on one of the cave paintings, which is really cool as well.
oh yeah, definitely there. Yes, we've got Paleolithic Fabergé eggs. We've got depictions of people, of animals. It's
Stone
kind of a
artifacts
little
up
bit
the
of
wazoo.
yeah, it's kind of a little bit of everything that humanity really could or would do at this time for decoration and arts. It the sites include was it uh, ochre processing and various evidence of microliths and tool making. Basically, they have the artist workshop right next to the art, and you kind of get a little bit of a whole picture of just from brush to canvas for the creation of a lot of these expressions.
And they even at some points would use plants to make impressions on the items that they were decorating. So they got very creative. They were finding art in everything around them, which is really, really cool. And one of the things that we talk about is one of the first natural habitats that humans would occupy are caves because they provide natural shelter. They're enclosed, they're protected. A lot of times they're dry or they're not as wet or out open to the elements is probably a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
So they tend to be some of the first natural habitations that humans would have. You'd find a nice cave and live in it, or at least stay there for a few nights while it's whatever is happening outside is. And you know, you might just do it to occupy yourself. And I know in one of the other examples, the Lascaux cave paintings in France. Did you know the cool fact that they found with some of those paintings?
What was one of the cool things they found? You might as well tell us.
It was it was the fact that they were animations
Mm.
because they recreated and they brought in a torch or a candle, and the light from the flames showed the figure to basically be galloping.
Oh, that's fun. They invented the movies before the movies. Because that
Exactly.
was some of the original, old 19th century, moving pictures was, just a reel of film that just showed a single scene running on a loop.
But the whole point of this site, which I think is very cool, is it shows a specialization. I mean, in the times when people are hunter gatherers, it takes a lot to try and dedicate time to finding the resource, finding the time to actually construct the materials needed to do it for a decorative purpose versus utilitarian. And I know that echoes a lot of very old school archaeology arguments, but it's one of those things of humans have always done these things. Humans have always wanted to make art express themselves, and it's just very interesting to me because the more and more we look into it, the later and later these dates are pushing.
Yeah, like for example, these very ancient sites, which go back, I believe, to 162,000 years, is sort of the upper limit for the UNESCO ceiling. These people here had figured out heat treatments for their tools and for their art. It takes a lot of time to not only have developed your artistic expression and your tool making, but then also have figured out how to temper it with heat successfully. Because the first 99 times you try that, either nothing happens or you've set something on fire.
Oh, well, when you're tempering rock, it explodes.
Yep. So, the first guy probably maimed himself. And
If
we
not, had
said,
a real big
that
fright.
sounds useful. Let's keep trying.
Well, and part of the reason they would temper it is to make it harder, more resilient. But yeah, it took a lot of skill and a lot of knowledge. Someone said, hey, this rock I had in the fire is a lot harder than the others. What if I tried it with this? But the sites are very cool, and because they're under the same country, they share a lot of the same protections, which include the World Heritage Convention Act of 1999 and the National Heritage Resource Act of 1999, which protect um, all three components and get them under a universal management plan where they're overseen by the minister of the Executive Council of Cultural Affairs and Sport. So, kind of a big mouthful of a title there, but they basically work to serve and basically have a management committee over the sites to make sure that not only are the local communities supported, but that these sites are well preserved and well protected. And quite frankly, I love seeing this early human stuff because I say it all the time on other videos, especially when we look at Roman ruins with their graffiti. This is just even older. It just pushes that date back. And, you go to a local playground today, you'll find graffiti, you'll find people scribbling things onto it. Humans don't change.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably a good point for us to wrap up on this. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know what you think down below, and we'll see you in the next one.